Charles Payne made massive wealth from nothing. He starred on Fox Business by 2017. Then federal charges were withdrawn. It named him Fox News and indicated an unexpected trend. Not just any woman did it. Fox employee claims Payne used violence and threats to control her career. She predicted what transpired in a hotel room 4 years ago will shock the network. Fox revoked his rights for 64 days. However, the actual story was just beginning. Charles Payne was born on November 15, 1960 into a life few see. They moved frequently since his dad was in the Army. Each base had clean housing, hot food, and safety. He didn't realize he was in a bubble. Military housing offered benefits most families could only dream about. Free health care, stringent schooling, and low-cost commissaries were common. Crime didn't concern him. Empty fridges or broken heaters. Everything was okay, he thought, but when that world collapsed, everything changed. After his parents divorced, Charles, his mother, and his brothers left the military. They reached Harlem in the early 1970s. It wasn't simply different, it upended things. Former military sites were clean. They lived in buildings with peeling paint, faulty boilers, and street vendors selling narcotics. Charles first viewed poverty as more than a phrase. He smelled and felt it in the passageways and bones. There was no hot water in their apartment. A child, he became the houseman overnight. He was heartbroken watching his mother struggle. No bases or perks, just survival. Harlem's 1970s streets were hazardous. On his way to school, Charles had to step over people laying on the pavement. He was used to it. Their flat had no heat, so winter cold came through the walls. Inside was the same temperature as outdoors. Renters didn't care. No one repaired it. Charles realized how much he had taken for granted in the Army. However, it was difficult. It made him feel something too. He understood he had to fight for his freedom to die. Young Charles promised his mother something at 14. He promised to work on Wall Street. It seemed absurd then. Dreaming of wealth as an adolescent in an old, collapsing apartment. Honestly, he meant it. He started working before and after school. His sleep was inconsistent. He did everything he could for his family. He cleaned floors, carried documents, and stocked shelves. No dream drove him. Had a plan. He became more optimistic as he worked. He was no longer young. The man planned. Charles did something few 17-year-olds consider. He acquired his first mutual fund. Charles invested while other youngsters purchased music or watched videos. He joined the Air Force the same year. It was a major shift, but expected. He found security in the military's order, discipline, and purpose. He was hired at Minot Air Force Base in North Dakota, known for its frigid and secret nuclear activity. He was a security guard in often 30-degree sea temperatures. He was only 13, but he protected the nation's most powerful weaponry. Even when served, Charles kept going. Minot State University and Central Texas College were his colleges. Managing school and duty shifts was difficult. He continued going since he had no time to rest. Not another number was his goal. He was ready to stand. He did it for others. He must consider family. At 18, Charles was married and had a child. While most his age were still figuring out life, he planned how to spend his military salary on diapers and food. Dadhood was hard at that age. Always anxious, he had little money. He felt that every misstep may cost him everything. He didn't criticize. He didn't explain. He kept going. Charles Payne was broke in 1985. He served 4 years in the U.S. Air Force. He lived in a little one-bedroom apartment with his wife and children. Money was scarce, so even tiny gifts seemed special. Phone calls altered things. EF sent it. Hutton, a Wall Street celebrity. They offered to hire him. The pay, $13,000 a year. That may not seem like much, but Payne considered it lottery winning. Growing up in Harlem, he worked hard to survive. He cleaned automobile windshields and worked in bodegas. This was his chance to escape. Real life hit him when he entered E.F. Hutton. not a terrific trader or specialist. He was the worst research participant. No fancy office or title, just a desk and lots of work. He valued it above anything else. At 14, he told his mother he would work on Wall Street. The man was here. There were Ivy League and top-tier professionals. Payne was none of those. But he had grit, unlike most. He worked long hours. Others didn't want his employment. People noticed him eventually. He first attempted to fit in. He phoned potential clients using the same sales methods as everyone else. That changed after one call. Someone asked, "Okay, you can read well, but what do you want?" Really wounded Payne. He realized he was echoing others. He trashed the writing. After that, he talked honestly and from the heart. The shift was immediate. He opened more accounts than everyone else in the workplace in 1 month. It was no smooth rhetoric or charm. People trusted him for being honest. Truth had a price. Other traders made a lot of money selling housing stocks, but not suffering. He didn't sell unprofitable items, always prioritized his people. He earned less, sometimes a lot less. He recalls having only 1 can of food at home. He used the same diaper for his daughter for almost 24 hours. That was the worst. However, he persisted. He wouldn't deceive for money. That honesty stood out in a world of scams and money. Charles Payne founded Wall Street Strategies in 1991 from a 1-bedroom Harlem apartment. Rent, $10,000. And no Wall Street family links were his only resources. Everything else was blank. After leaving the Air Force, he joined E.F. Hutton in 1985. He was still organizing his funds. Most people would have kept safe, but Payne felt investment methods were flawed. He believed non-company researchers might aid customers, not only bankers. Self-made then. But faith wasn't enough. He started the firm from scratch. He marketed his firm, studied daily via phone. After sunset, he didn't relax. He researched markets, wrote assessments, and monitored trends. The start wasn't hard. I had to survive. He worked 16-hour days constantly. Diapers weren't always affordable. Sometimes the kitchen had 1 can of food. He persisted. He wanted more than cash. He had to for his family and dependents. He wasn't after riches. He wanted respect. First significant stride ahead didn't pay well. When he recruited his first employee, he wasn't alone for the first time. He was dangerous to hire. Payne now controlled more than his future. He was supposed to pay someone else. Only one thing changed. One individual no longer ran Wall Street Strategies. It was becoming a business. Over time, things improved. He gains business, confidence, and team members. The moment proved everything. Business relocated from Harlem apartment to Wall Street office. Childish dreams and outsider observation made him imagine such universe. This meant everything to him. Not simply location, he wanted to prove his belonging. He was in the thick of business. Competitor, not guest. He was no longer odd. The door now bore his name. After then, news arrived. CNN followed CNBC, then Bloomberg. The man who made cold calls from his homeroom was suddenly on national TV. People sought his perspective. When he talked, investors listened. Neither because of his famous last name nor Wall Street career, he deserved it. August 1999 brought a financial scandal. The SEC reported on Wall Street and Charles Payne's practices. He did something initially harmless. They said, yet that was a serious federal criminal violation. Payne's firm utilized pre-recorded phone calls to sell members' Service Corporation shares, according to the SEC. Though unusual, it resembled financial advice. People who bought that stock didn't understand Payne's pitch. Members paid him and his business to promote it. Nobody said that in those writings. An obvious conflict of interest had to be concealed. At least 8 times they hyped the stock, knowing people would believe them. It was illegal and sneaky. That strategy made things worse. Some taped messages appeared personal. They sounded like market expert advice. The corporation with the most to benefit paid for it all behind the scenes. It was incorrect, devious, and fast. In a few hours, many could hear tape calls. The 1990s saw strong spread. The lawsuit focused on 1933 Securities Act Part 17B. This law was straightforward. People must know if you're compensated to promote a stock. Not lying is illegal, even if you don't mean to. Ordinary customers are protected by the law from dishonest sellers. SEC said Payne violated this requirement. His stock promotion was paid for, but he didn't say anything. Going to court was justified. After everything, Payne made a bargain. No guilt claim, not nearly. But he didn't decline. The arrangement caused harm. Payne was forbidden from breaking Section 17B again. He also paid $25,000 in penalties. His firm paid $10,000 more. They looked horrible in public with the large fines. That would have terminated many careers. But Payne persisted. Charles Payne gained fame in 2007, the same year Fox Business Network launched. The new network sought to challenge CNBC as the premier business news source. Before joining, Payne was there. That timing is deliberate. That person timed their move perfectly. Payne was well known before this. E.F. Hutton was his first Wall Street job in 1985. After that, he founded Wall Street Strategies in 1991. His book, Be Smart, Act Fast, Get Rich, was written months before he joined Fox. His name alone reveals his voice. It works. Even if Fox Business wasn't popular, Payne stood out. Easy to comprehend his style. He gave wonderful counsel. CNBC had more viewers, but Payne was building trust one episode at a time. He explained money clearly. He seemed like a teacher. People noticed, the executives saw. He was immediately given extra work. By 2014, he hosted Making Money with Charles Payne. It started on June 2nd in the evening, but moved to 2-3 p.m. throughout the week. That change demonstrated faith, not simply another business show. Payne focused on him. He mostly broke down the news and taught people how to spend wisely. He also stressed morality, highlighting the need of knowing about money, being disciplined, and being powerful. The crowds came. Each episode drew 135,000–185,000 viewers in 2022. When markets were volatile, more people watched. Many people used that business network. Strong enough that FBN's president stated, producing money helped the network overtake CNBC in afternoon ratings for the first time since 2019. Making money remain vital makes that even more fantastic. In a fast-paced digital environment, the program retained viewers' attention. Payne discussed stocks and life. He often talked of growing up poor, working hard, and making it on Wall Street. It felt real, so people noticed. Business news no longer dominated the broadcast, and it became drive. Payne's reach continued. His fame spread beyond Fox News, not just Fox Business. He frequently appeared on Fox and Friends, America's Newsroom, and other major shows. Even those not interested in business news heard from him more. His timing coincided with the 2012 midterms and 2020 market catastrophe. He was believed when he broke down. He sorted the mess. He discussed more than money. He had great range. Hosting Black History and Achieving the Dream demonstrated he could discuss important and intimate themes. Payne always has something to say about people, money, or rules. Folks noticed being seen is problematic. In a June 2019 Your World interview with Neil Cavuto, Payne mentioned something controversial. He stated the market plummeted under Obama, but rose 9% under Trump. Good that the figures added up. From November 2008 to January 2009, when Obama took office, The market fell 14.8%. But that Obama's triumph caused it. That wasn't right. Fact checkers like PolitiFact found it mainly inaccurate. They said the economic crisis began well before the election. Wall Street was already struggling when Lehman Brothers collapsed in September 2008. Experts say Obama shouldn't be blamed for a failing economy. The firm suffered from years of poor lending, not just one election. Still, allegations spread. Right-wing media seized on it. Payne indicated that he considered a 15% dip a crash, but he was accused of cherry-picking facts. Many individuals were informed the market fared well under Obama and that financial professionals should display the complete picture, not just politics. On September 18, 2017, Scottie Nell Hughes shocked Fox News. She sued Fox News, 21st Century Fox, and rising star Charles Payne in New York. Hughes was more than a news name. She was famous on TV, right analyst with several Fox appearances. She made headlines again, but for a more vital purpose. Her lawsuit stated that she initially reported Payne's improper behavior. After 2 months off Fox, Payne was reinstated, making it a tense moment. Despite her complaints to coworkers, the network invited him back. Now, Hughes publicly accused him and the network of worse things a few days later. She stated Fox Public Relations Director Irina Briganti gave her identity to the National Enquirer, which revealed she was raped. The release caused more than news chaos. It appeared to be a blatant assault to silence her. The situation was more than horrible. Hughes said that one of the world's largest media firms was retaliating, slandering, and mistreating women. Her lawsuit was part of Roger Ailes and Bill O'Reilly's removal. This one seemed more intimate. The narrative began in July 2013 with her nightmare. She met Payne on Fox News earlier that year. Payne first appeared decent. He offered to assist her at work. He was keen. After visiting a museum and taking a cab in New York, he followed her to her hotel room on July 9th. She believed it was simply a discussion, but things changed swiftly within. Hughes confirmed she didn't want anything to happen. Payne ignored her no and stop orders. She claims he battered and raped her. Hughes remarked, "You know you want this, and you've been teasing me since the first time we met on set." He exited and said, "This changes things." She was surprised, afraid, and humiliated. She concealed what occurred. "You did what next?" That made escape tougher. Payne continued restraining her. She stated he instructed her to keep meeting him for additional work and a Fox contract. He got angrier as she battled him. He allegedly yelled, threatened, and beat her so hard she developed bruises. Payne allegedly exclaimed, "Get the fuck out of my office if you think someone else can get you the contributorship." It wasn't just about sex. Power was involved. Hughes claimed it was obvious. Her employment would end if she didn't comply. A full-time job was bait for her. When she left, her hard work crumbled. What made things stranger? Immediately following the attack, Hughes claimed Fox asked her to appear more regularly instead of shutting her out. The allegation states Payne hired her 4 or 5 evenings a week to generate money. Other manufacturers copied him. Her guest status has changed to virtually every day. Hughes's career seemed to be booming, but she thought it was a horrible bargain. Attend exhibitions, maintain contact, and your job will develop. Stop, it ends. Things went wrong when she tried to break up with Payne. No one scheduled her anymore. Over 10 months, she only appeared 5 times after being on virtually every night. The network seemed to have abandoned her. Hughes sued in 2017 after losing virtually all of her earnings. The complaint claimed 7 counts, including defamation and women's abuse. Not even Payne ended it. Attacks targeted Fox News. The network punished her and protected Payne, she alleged. After telling Fox's attorneys about the incident, she said someone gave the individual asking for her identity to the police. She was no longer a victim. She made headlines. Fox made it seem like everyone agreed, she claimed. Then they silently pushed her out. Even after she pleaded to be dismissed, Executives like Bill Shine allegedly ignored her demands to show up. Hughes claimed it was the same pattern that protected Roger Ailes and Bill O'Reilly for years. Discredit, deny, move on. In early July 2017, Charles Payne was removed off the radio. Hughes claims Payne offered her a promotion to date her, but Fox harmed her when she attempted to break up. Though everything seemed horrible, Payne was only banned until September 8th, little over 2 months. Fox labeled it an internal investigation. Later articles proved it wasn't comprehensive. Fox's counsel reportedly advised them not to go too deep to avoid further issues. A sentence became a symbol. Many wondered if the network wanted the truth or merely to maintain its image. Payne was quietly returned after the research. Hughes sued, saying the conflict continued. Hughes testified that Fox sought to silence her. She alleged her name was leaked to the press, and the article was altered to suggest she and Payne were dating. Court case indicated it wasn't just sex. The narrative involved power, revenge, and a business that will do everything to protect its stars. Even though Payne was back on TV, Hughes was arguing with others. Fox was well known by then. People have seen similar stories too often. On September 8, 2017, Payne hosted Making Money with Charles Payne again. He stated the issue was resolved on his first program back. He believed it was behind him. Many viewers didn't believe that. How could such crucial allegations be dismissed so quickly? In federal court, Hughes continued her case. The lawsuit continued. Some believe Fox intended to resolve the matter swiftly to protect one of their own, not repair what went wrong. And it was wrong timing. The network was still recovering from massive payouts and issues with other senior people. Payne ran the same program and appeared on Fox shows in 2025, as if nothing had occurred. Some regarded it as confirmation the network had decided. Even when in court with Hughes, they publicized agony. After that verdict, there were many debates about power, silence, and how huge networks treat women who speak up. Some elements of the lawsuit were dismissed, while others proceeded. That meant accusations persisted. They stayed aloft. That makes this narrative hard to read. A man accused of rape and coercion is still on national TV, while the lady who spoke out faced leaks, smear efforts, and legal issues. Several cases exist. It illustrates how the system works for significant people. The doubts persist after years. Why was the investigation short-lived? How did Hughes's name spread? What's with effects only happening when the camera stops?